The 4-4-2, Donny van der Beek, Jadon Sancho, Fred and Alex Telles. What did we learn from Michael Carrick's first game as interim Manchester United manager against Villarreal? And more importantly, is it actually anything significant? But before that, for cheap good quality football jerseys, retro jerseys and tracksuits, go over to www.jerseyfifa.com, a link will be left in the description, and use code ATLANTISFOOTBALL to get 5% off. So right from the off, we saw how Carrick had changed the system to what Solskjaer had been using. Solskjaer had been using a very strict 4-2-3-1, with United pressing in that 4-2-3-1 or a 4-2-4 in the opposition's defensive third. However, against Villarreal this changed to almost a 4-4-2, which would drop into a 4-5-1 at times. Now it's hard to tell whether this is something that Carrick's going to move forward with into the next game, or whether this was just to counter Unai Emery's Villarreal, and this is because Villarreal's 4-4-2 system tends to move into a 2-4-3-1 shape in possession, with two players, Moi Gomez and Man Utd in this game, moving into the space between the lines, with the midfield double pivot of Dani Parejo and Etienne Capoue dropping deep to get on the ball, and Parejo in particular is Villarreal's creative weapon, being one of the best deep line creators in all of European football. By dropping into a passive 4-4-2 shape and allowing Villarreal's centre backs to have the ball, this allowed Ronaldo and Martial to cut off the passing lanes into the two central midfielders. United drop into a 4-4-2 shape with Ronaldo playing alongside Martial in this situation, but it is kind of a lopsided 4-3-3 shape, with Ronaldo retaining a higher position and Jadon Sancho on the other side. And if you look at when the play was circulated to the right side, you can see Fred is definitely playing more of a central midfield role rather than playing as a left-sided midfielder, as he tucks in very tight, giving Manchester United that narrow midfield four, and this stopped passing lanes opening up into Villarreal's players between the lines. When the ball would get moved over to Villarreal's left side, instead of asking Jadon Sancho to move to close down the player on the ball, which was usually Parejo on that side, instead of asking Jadon Sancho to push up and apply the pressure as Ronaldo was doing on Villarreal's right side, it was Donny van der Beek who would move out of the midfield line to close down Parejo and stop him being able to progress the ball forward, and because of United's narrow midfield four, McTominay and Fred could shuffle across and stop the gaps opening up. Before I go any further, remember after this video to check the description, as I have got videos out on how Zinedine Zidane, Marcelo Gallardo, Brendan Rodgers and ERIK Ten Hag would set up Manchester United if they became Manchester United manager, and I will be releasing a video on Mauricio Pochettino very soon as well. United also played with a relatively high and well organised back line, with Lindelof and Maguire being close enough to the Villarreal players in behind McTominay and Fred so that if the ball did go into their feet, they could quickly push out and apply the pressure. This gave United an overall vertically compact defensive unit, making it hard for Villarreal to play through them. Now United's strategy did seem to be to keep compact when Villarreal had the ball, sit quite deep and then look to counter quickly through the centre of the pitch, and I think that's why Ronaldo was instructed to sit higher up the field than Sancho on the right side, allowing him to make a forward run early and United to find that vertical pass and transition the attack quickly. But it was only in the second half when we saw this to full effect. Anthony Martial did provide that forward running ability that United have lacked in recent weeks, but it was Marcus Rashford who really made the counter-attack in the second half when he came on, with his ability to dart forward past the Villarreal players and provide that forward running ability for United then to play the through ball and transition the attack quickly into the Villarreal final third. In possession, it did seem that in the build-up phase certainly United moved away from that double pivot system, with Van der Beek and Fred definitely playing either side higher up the pitch to McTominay, and in the final third we would see Van der Beek push up between the lines, being a lot closer to Ronaldo, with Fred and McTominay retaining a deeper position. Is this type of role that definitely suits Van der Beek a lot better than playing in that midfield double pivot, because he's one touch into play, in congested areas and movement around the box are his best attributes, so playing him further to goal is obviously going to benefit his individual play. So it's going to be interesting to see whether Van der Beek still retains his position when Bruno Fernandes comes back into the side, which would likely be in a 4-3-3 kind of shape, with Van der Beek and Fernandes retaining higher positions, or whether Carrick will revert to Fred and McTominay playing in behind Bruno Fernandes. I also felt Carrick's use of Fred was a lot better than how we'd seen him deployed under Solskjaer, with Fred playing almost as a wide central midfielder, being tasked to move out and close down the Villarreal right back and allowing Ronaldo to retain a higher position. Fred does have the athleticism and aggression to perform this role quite well, and we saw this for the first goal, with Fred being quick to apply pressure to Etienne Capoue when he received the ball in his own defensive third, winning the ball back and allowing Ronaldo to have the chance to lob the keeper and give United the lead. However, we did see the defensive problems with playing Fred in central midfield alongside McTominay. See here Pau Torres has a ball, and to be fair to McTominay, he is stuck in two minds, whether to close off the pass nearest to him, which is Dan Juma, or to move across and close off the pass to Man Utd. But really it should be Fred who moves across to cut off that pass to Man Utd. He doesn't do this, and this allows Villarreal to get in behind Manchester United's back line, and but for a very good save from De Gea, Villarreal would have taken the lead. Another interesting thing that we saw from this game was the use of Jadon Sancho on the right wing, and like against Watford on the weekend, we saw Sancho's crossing ability, which is something that no other United attacker provides from that right flank. But the main part of his game which was impressive was his ball carrying ability, and under the right coach I do think we could see Aaron Wan-Bissaka get the best out of Jadon Sancho with certain movements down that right side. Sancho's quick interplay down the flank is fantastic. We see here, he plays a 1-2 with Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka makes a run inside him, and now Wan-Bissaka is moving into the Villarreal half, and United can now look to progress the ball into the final third. Another example is here, the ball gets shifted out to Jadon Sancho, who pulls out wide, holds his width and opens up that passing lane. Now I do think that Wan-Bissaka should either make an overlapping run to take away the left back, or make a quicker underlapping run to drag away the player on Sancho's inside, and vacate that space to allow Sancho to carry the ball into. This doesn't happen because Wan-Bissaka's movement forward is quite late. However, Sancho finds a pass into Bruno Fernandes inside and makes a diagonal run into a goal scoring position. Bruno Fernandes' pass is fantastic, and Sancho's first touch to wrong foot Pau Torres and get into the shooting position is absolutely fantastic, and he's unlucky with the finish. But this pattern of play really showed Sancho's ability to work the ball into chance creating and goal scoring positions. And so it's not just his crossing ability from the flank which is a threat, but also his interplay and ability inside the box as well. To cap off a very good performance, Sancho did get the second goal and his first Manchester United goal. After an excellent counter-attack from United, the ball runs across to Sancho and his finish is absolutely superb, smashing the ball into the roof of the net, showcasing Sancho's finishing and shooting ability. Before I discuss my last point of this game, go over to my Instagram after this video, make sure you follow because I will be releasing a lot more content on there. I have released a post looking at my 5 favourite Cristiano Ronaldo goals in the Champions League, so go over there and check that out. Another player who it was quite interesting to watch was Alex Telles. He started at left back replacing Luke Shaw, and we did see the good and the bad from his performance against Villarreal. In the first half we saw him put in an excellent deep cross for Ronaldo, and it's this type of cross that Manchester United have been lacking. Usually with Luke Shaw he'll try and dribble the ball to the edge of the box and look for a bit of interplay, but most of the time this sort of attack will break down without United even putting a cross into the box. What Alex Telles and Sancho both provide from opposite flanks is United's ability to put in deep crosses and create chances for Ronaldo, who's probably the best in the world in terms of his offensive aerial ability. But during this game we also saw why Telles isn't a starter over Luke Shaw. In the first half a Villarreal shot from outside the box got deflected into the path of Yeremy Pino, and Alex Telles overcommits to the situation, seeming like he's going to try and win the ball. Pino simply allows the ball to roll across his body, and with one touch he's in front of Telles and gets a shot on goal which goes into the side netting. But this chance all stemmed from Alex Telles' lack of positional discipline. If he can't win the ball he simply has to hold his position and stop Pino being able to drive past him. Another example in the first half of Alex Telles' defensive vulnerabilities was when Rooney played a long pass from his own box, and Alex Telles completely misjudges the flight of the ball, allows it to bounce over his head, and Yeremy Pino's running in behind, and now Villarreal are on the edge of Manchester United's box. So what we see here is whilst Alex Telles does provide the crossing ability that maybe Luke Shaw does lack, he certainly doesn't have the defensive ability that Luke Shaw has. So a potential solution if Manchester United did want to play Alex Telles on that left side going forward would be to play a back 5 and have Luke Shaw playing as a left-sided centre-back in the back 3, still being able to drive forward with the ball through the centre of the pitch in attack, or even making overlaps to Alex Telles, but this would give Alex Telles a defensive security in a back 5, making him less vulnerable in these types of situations, but also give him the ability to push further forward and play those deep crosses to create chances for Cristiano Ronaldo. So overall, from a tactical point of view, I don't think we can take that much from this game, as Michael Carrick isn't going to be in charge for that long, I would assume, and even in the next game he may vary the system he uses, as he may have just used this particular system to counter Villarreal's strengths, which he did pretty well in this game. But I do think the performances from Jadon Sancho, Donny van der Beek and Alex Telles in particular do give United some hope, especially if a new manager can come in and use those players in a similar sort of role to how they were used against Villarreal. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, remember to subscribe to the channel, give the video a like and click the bell so you get notified when my videos come out. Also go to the description to check out my other videos as well, and follow me on Instagram for more content as well.